Xbox sucks and has no games.
Xbox nailed its developer direct, and I know some of you may say that's a reach. There was no new AAA blockbuster game, no Avowed, no State of Decay 3, Elder Scrolls, and nothing from Starfield. But the truth is, you can only judge them based on the parameters they set. So if you expected new games or Starfield release date, that's on you. And if Forza, Minecraft, and Elder Scrolls isn't your thing, then the question is, why did you watch? Like I said, you can only judge them based on the parameters they set, which is the presentation, structure, pacing, and if the games they showed looked good or great. And they did. It was perfect. But I want to touch on 3 main points.
First off is managing expectations.
When you tell people exactly what to expect, it's extremely difficult for them to judge you based on the boundaries you put in place. Anyone who seeks to do so is likely entitled or just trolling. However, you still need to be somewhat active. If you detect rumors that could potentially overshadow your show, it's best to address them as soon as possible. One rumor that had such potential was Starfield. As far as everyone was concerned, this was the game to see. So telling your audience Starfield would not be making an appearance prevents those specific people from actually tuning in. It ensures the people watching and reviewing your showcase are people who are either interested in those games announced or Xbox as a whole. What this also does is, it doesn't skew the reviews. There's less unjustified disappointment, less bickering, less trolling, less Xbox sucks and has no games. And the reason why that's important is it sets the narrative and tone, and that can only be done if the right people tuned in, the people who knew exactly what they were getting. And in the grand scheme of things, it's quite minor, but it's a good way to start off 2023.
Second point, the developers.
While watching Hogwarts Legacy's showcase, there was one main thing that stood out for me apart from the adventure and gameplay, and that was the actual developers. The people making these games seemed passionate about their product. They spoke in a way that screamed confidence and excitement. And we can see the same with Ben Broads and Marvel Snap. We can see the disappointment in Yoshi P's face when Edgewalker was delayed, the disappointment in letting down the fans and the team. And you might say that's a Japanese thing, but I felt that, and I ain't Japanese. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, seeing the faces behind the game goes a long way in keeping you connected with the fans. It goes a long way in spreading hype and excitement. It goes a long way in making the wait for an eventual release bearable. It goes a long way in making people who generally weren't interested in your product invested. And that's really important because the narrative will always be the key. That's just marketing 101. And the Xbox Developer Showcase nailed this. We saw banter, we saw jokes, we saw multiple takes, we saw excitement, enthusiasm. But the main thing is we saw these guys having fun. And if you can portray belief in your product, then it's always going to be an easier sell. I'm not trying to make this sound dreamy in any way, shape or form. I'm just saying positivity and excitement can be contagious.
Cool. Final point, exceeding expectations.
If we ended on those 2 points, this showcase would have achieved exactly what it set out to do. But to knock it out of the park, to get that home run, you got to go bigger. You got to catch everyone off guard. You got to exceed the expectations you set. Because any additions to this is a win. So showing off a new IP in Hi-Fi Rush, an IP that differs from what we generally see on the market, an IP that the casuals and hardcore can gravitate to, an IP that has broken into Steam's top 10 since its release a couple of days ago, an IP that has a user Metacritic at this very moment of 9.2. Start dropping that IP at your own showcase, start dropping it on Game Pass when you've set lesser expectations, is more than a win. Is insane.
So kudos to Xbox for the first win in 2023. A 10 out of 10 showcase.
Anyways guys, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be talking pretty much Xbox, video games, and any video game related news. If you enjoy live podcasts, I do intend to start that soon as well. Hopefully you guys will come through and we can get to talking if you're interested. Have a good one.